Attention, the following broadcast has been approved by Outcasted OC. Viewer discretion is advised. Incoming transmission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to NXT review for Outcasted OC. I am here again. I was here yesterday for the Monday Night Raw review. If you haven't seen that, go and check that out. It was a pretty decent show from Raw. And we've got a pretty, well, I was going to say decent show from NXT, but let's just get straight into it, shall we, by seeing if it actually is a good show or not. Okay. So we opened with an actual championship match. I actually forgot this match was going on, to be honest with you, because last week it was just kind of accepted by Obafemi, but nothing really was spoke about. Lexis King was just kind of a douche. And then Obafemi was just like, okay, I'm gonna batter you. So I totally forgot this was happening. We've got a North American Championship match between Lexis King and Obafemi. It's a match that doesn't last really long, to be honest with you. There's a point in the match where Obafemi is on the outside. He gets his arm injured on the ring post. Kayfabe, it's not a real injury, and Lexis King takes control. While this match is going on, we've got Robert Stone in the back watching this match with Von Wagner, and he tells Von he'll be back in a minute. Obviously, Lexis King brought up Robert Stone's kid last week, or kids, the Bash brothers last week, so he's taking offense to it. So he starts walking out to the ring, and while Lexis King is taking control of the match, he goes out the ring and pushes Robert Stone over, which is a massive mistake in my opinion. I would have dealt with Robert Stone after the match took place. He gets back into the ring, he gets hit with a massive lariat from Obafemi, and then he gets hit with that pop-up power bomb, that really beautiful power bomb that Obafemi likes to hit. It looks great from a guy that size. But it was never any doubt in my mind that Lexis King was going to lose this match in one way or another, whether Robert Stone got involved or not. You're not going to take the title of Obafemi. Commentary were quick to let us know still that Obafemi has still had less than 10 matches in WWE so far, which is pretty insane. I don't know how many times that's happened, that a guy's just come in and won a championship. I think the Big Show did it years ago. And I think Logan Paul had maybe less than 10 matches before he won the United States Championship, but like, don't quote me on that. I know he'd only had like maybe 5 or 6 beforehand. But yeah, it doesn't happen very often. Like, he's not exactly a ring veteran or anything. So it's impressive to see. I love Obafemi. And the longer he keeps that championship, the longer I will be happy. Next, guys, we go back to the locker room where Thea Hale is disappointed in how the Valentine's Day date went with Riley Osborne, and she's telling the girls how it went. She said, Riley went to open the door for me, but I said, oh, I'm a woman, I can take care of myself. And in the date, while he was trying to ask me how we're going to chase you and everything, like, I just stayed on my phone. And JC Jane is like, no, you took my advice wrong. Like, I said, yeah, don't make yourself too available, but like, I didn't tell you to ignore him. So, Thea Hale looks pretty disappointed about this. Obviously, she really likes Riley Osborne. So she's just a bit down about the whole situation. Ariana Grace tells her that, well, she shows up and tells her, maybe, let the man be the man, let him open the doors for you. Let him, treat you like a princess. And JC Jane basically says, back off before I make an example out of you, which leads to a match later on tonight. I don't know how that led to a match later on. It's a weird situation in where, like, Ariana Grace was the face here, in my opinion, and she was only just giving Thea Hale some advice, and JC Jane, like, kind of shot her down, like, was quite aggressive with it. I just thought it was an odd little situation there. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of that in the comments. I do love Ariana Grace, though. I think she's absolutely fantastic in everything that she does. We stay backstage now, where obviously we've got a women's championship match later on tonight with Lyra Valkyria versus Shotzi. Tatum Paxley is, absolutely buzzing about this. She says she's still hurting from last week. Obviously, she was beaten from pillar to post, but she's ready to help Lyra Valkyria in any way that she can this week. Lyra Valkyria basically turns around and says to her, listen, all I want you to do, I need to do one thing for me. All I need you to do is stay back here tonight and let me deal with the situation. And if you do, I've got a surprise for you. We don't actually end up finding out this surprise. We don't know what that is yet, but I'm interested to see what that's going to be. Hopefully we'll find out next week what Tatum Paxley's surprise is if she is able to stay backstage this week for the championship match. Who knows? We now get a ring segment here with Bron Breakker and Baron Corbin, obviously the new NXT Tag Team Champions. They are in the ring. They are celebrating. Look, 2 a-holes in the ring captured the NXT Tag Team Championships. Bron Breakker says, who'd have thought we'd be here do you remember months ago at No Mercy when we were beating the holy hell out of each other? Who'd have thought we'd be the NXT Tag Team Champions? And Baron Corbin says, "Yeah, I remember No Mercy. Of course, how could I forget? I beat you, remember?" Baron, and then Baron Corbin starts laughing at Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker turns around and goes, "Well, I suppose I'll let that go, seeing as I've been carrying this team all the way through to win the tag team championships." I love the banter. I love the chemistry between these two people. Like they are just two absolute massive douchebags who kind of like each other, don't like each other, love-hate relationship. We get a segment here now where they are just still in the ring, but Chase, you come out and confront them and say, "We had a deal with the last tag team champions, the D'Angelo family, where we get the next shot at the tag team championships." And Bron Breakker's like, how does that work? Like, go stick your new calendar up your ass, Chase you. It doesn't work like that. Like, just because the other champions gave you a deal doesn't mean we have to fulfill it. That it doesn't work like that. We then get Axiom and Nathan Fraser coming out. Ew, where Nathan Fraser turns around and goes, "Here's a hard-hitting home truth, Chase you. Well, you don't deserve the tag team championships. We took it to we took it to the champions the most in the Dusty Classic." And I'm just sat here listening to Nathan Fraser in action. I'm like, oh God, it just sucks all the life out of me. I can't listen to Nathan Fraser. I just can't do it. Like nothing that he says seems genuine to me. Honestly, it really just drives me insane. I cannot do it. Anyway, Ava comes out and says, "Listen, you both make good points, and tonight there will be a number one contenders tag team match to face Baron Corbin and Bron Breakker." So later on tonight, we get confirmed to have Chase U versus Axiom and Nathan Fraser. That should be a good match because I don't like him on the microphone, but I like Nathan Fraser in the ring. So. We now go backstage to where Roxanne Perez is still talking trash about how, "Oh, woe is me. I didn't win the championship. Everything's going against me. Like the spotlight this or spotlight that. I deserve more." And I'm just like, "Oh God, Roxy, please stop talking." Like, oh God, Roxanne Perez for me lately is just really grinding my gears. We now get a match with her versus Ren Sinclair. Obviously, she slapped Ren Sinclair last week in the locker room for literally no reason. Byron Saxton seems to be on Ren Sinclair's side, saying that Roxanne Perez overreacted. There was no reason to slap Ren Sinclair. But Roxy wins this match quite easily, to be honest with you. She hits the pop rocks on Ren and then gets her in a cross face. Obviously, she usually just goes for the victory here with the pop rocks, but she chooses to get the submission victory over Ren Sinclair, showing a little bit more of a vicious side to Roxanne Perez, maybe more of a heelish side to Roxanne Perez. I am not interested in Roxanne Perez whatsoever. And I know it's a bit of biasness coming from me, but I just can't deal with her at the moment, guys. I really can't. I've never really been a fan of Roxanne Perez. But yeah, that's just my opinion. What do you guys think of Roxanne Perez? I'm curious. Is she gotten over with the rest of you guys who watch NXT? Is she interesting to you? Does she appeal to any of you guys like that she doesn't appeal to me? Let me know in the comment section. We now go backstage to where the No Quarter Catch crew. My God, I finally got the name right after last week. God, I didn't know what it was. They are in Metaphor's locker room once again, and they are still not telling Noam Dar who is going to be challenging for the Heritage Cup next week. He's just going to have to find out. He's going to have to find out when the match starts. So Noam Dar is going to have to prepare for 4 different people. That is going to be difficult for Noam Dar. But we do get a hard-hitting match. We got a hard-hitting home truth from Nathan Fraser earlier on tonight. We now get a hard-hitting match between former friends Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen. I really liked this match. It got a good amount of time on TV as well. It went on for about 7 or 8 minutes. It was really good. Josh Briggs ends up winning this match, however, with 2 massive clotheslines from hell or massive lariats. The second one, he picks up Brooks Jensen and says, "I did this for you, brother. I love you." Hits him with a lariat for the 1, 2, 3. The story about this match is, though, the commentary are talking about how, Josh Briggs, did he go too far, try to bring out, the edge that Brooks Jensen needs? Obviously, Josh Briggs, for the past couple of weeks, has been telling Brooks Jensen to, grow a pair and, like, deal with it and, like, really move on and try and make something for himself. Did he go too far doing that? I don't know. In my opinion, I think Brooks Jensen is on an interesting path here. In my opinion, I know he lost the match, but he won in a way. Because he got on TV, and who doesn't like to be on TV? I noticed, by the way, you can really see my new Bo-Katan Funko Pop in the background really well there. Yep, it's a new purchase, guys. Like, obviously, you can see the rest of my Funko Pops. I've got some over there. Bit of a divergent from the conversation, but I've just noticed the face. It was a Valentine's Day limited edition, if anyone's wondering. So, it's pretty cool. I like it. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I was thinking maybe that Brooks Jensen was going to turn heel, in the next couple of months, but now I'm not sure because he kind of looks like a kind of just like a plucky baby face, kind of like a Sami Zayn, but like 10 times bigger. I don't know. I'm not too sure anymore. I would quite like to see it still, but we saw the fighting spirit of Brooks Jensen in this match, trying to, you know, get the one up on Josh Briggs, who has been really doing a good job by himself in the singles division at the moment. So I'm expecting bright things for both of these guys. Brooks Jensen, I believe, is the son of Bull Buchanan, if you guys remember him from the Right to Censor way back in the day. So that's a little Easter egg there for you. Weird things happen on NXT. We all know this, and I've just seen my notes. And the next thing is very weird, and it's Dijak pretty much just can you say torturing? I don't know. He's torturing Joe Gacy. He's still got him in that straight jacket, even though the referees pulled him off him last week, but he still managed to keep the straight jacket on him. He's got him in this room, and he is threatening to deal with Joe Gacy. Luca Crucifino is there for some reason, telling Dijak, this is against the law. This is false imprisonment. You can't do this. And Dijak turns around and just goes, he violated my law. It doesn't matter about the rest of the laws. And then Luca goes, well, fine, whatever. I'm off to go deal with the Tony D'Angelo family, which I'm assuming is what he's going to go do. Luca Crucifino was really getting about for the past couple of weeks, right? He was with Tony D, and now he's with Dijak. Opposite ends of the law, if you will. Um, it looks like Joe Gacy is in trouble. He's in a straitjacket. He's just laughing. He's going crazy, as we know. Classic Joe Gacy for the past couple of weeks. But Dijak has got him in a room, in a straitjacket with weapons. I can't imagine that's going to go very well for our boy, Joe Gacy. Speaking of our boy, Carmelo Hayes is in the barbershop where it all started with him and Trick Williams. They came in as boys, when they had all the promos way back in the day in NXT 2.0 when they was in the barbershop. That's all it is. That's all it's ever going to be. And bout it. You know what I'm talking about. Mello is talking about he has a clear conscience because he isn't the one who turned on his best friend. He isn't the one who went for Trick's spot. Trick went for him. You wanted to be the number one guy. And because you're my boy, I brought you up with me. You could have been the number 5 guy. You could have even been the number 2 guy, but you went for the number 1 spot, and there's only one spot that is reserved for Mello, and that is the number 1 spot. And you ain't getting that, Trick Williams, okay? He says to Ilya Dragunov, like, Trick is gonna stay where he is, wherever you are, Trick. I don't care about you anymore. But there's only one thing on my mind, Ilya. Like, if you want to deal with me, if you have a conversation with me, I will see you at Roadblock. Give me that NXT Championship match. Ilya Dragunov responds later on in the night and accepts a challenge for Roadblock. He will see Carmelo Hayes for the NXT Championship under one condition. Next week on NXT, he has to meet him in the ring face to face. Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov need to have a conversation. Obviously, Ilya Dragunov is annoyed that Carmelo Hayes tried to put everything on him. He tried to, blame the attack on Trick Williams on Ilya Dragunov. So, obviously, Ilya Dragunov kind of wants to get a little bit of a semblance of revenge, I suppose. What do we get next, guys? Oh, yeah, this is quite interesting, actually. There's something that comes on in a little while after this match that I'm interested in talking about. But first, we're getting Ariana Grace versus JC Jane. Not really much to talk about, to be honest with you, apart from the actual commentary which is going on in this match. So Vic Joseph asks Byron Saxton, obviously Thea Hale got a little bit of bad advice date-wise from JC Jane. What would you do in this situation? Well, I don't know what Byron Sax is on here, but he talks on about Sax loving. Apparently, there's a couple of women out there who knows what sax loving is, and he recommends that Thea Hale and Riley Osborne go out on a mini golf date. Um, and Vic Joseph is just laughing here, like he's like, I can't wait to get a call or a text from Corey Graves in about 10 minutes because Byron Saxon he is so weird when he's talking about like dating women, when he's just talking about women in general. He's always been weird. Do you guys remember that ride along segment from like it was like a good couple of years ago when Nia Jax called Byron Saxton like in the back of the car? And it was such a weird conversation. If you guys know what I'm talking about there, then you know. If you don't, then go watch the ride along segment with Nia Jax from like it's got to be about 4 years ago now or something like that. But yeah, Barry Saxon is so weird. He's like it's sax loving. I don't know. I don't want to know what sax loving is. It just sounds. It doesn't sound very advertising. That's all I'm saying to you. But now we go to the restaurant where Tony D'Angelo, Stacks, and Rizzo are all talking about what's been going on for the past couple of weeks in the D'Angelo family. Rizzo apologized to the Don and says, I didn't get the job done last week. And Tony's like, it's fine. It was your first one-on-one match. Don't worry about it. We know you brought the fight. Don't worry about it. Stacks turns around to Tony and says, what happened last week with the tag team titles? That was on me. It was my fault. And we are going to get those NXT tag team championships back. And the Don says, no, we're not going to do that. We've been thinking small picture. We need to think bigger picture. We are the D'Angelo family. We run NXT. Like, we've been thinking about, brawling with OTM, like try to claim who's the toughest in the streets. We've been dealing with this like Chase U nonsense, like the tag team nonsense, like everything. We need to remind everyone who we are. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lead the family because I'm Tony D'Angelo. No more community, opinions. Everything comes down to me. And if anyone's got a problem with that, they need to let me know and they can leave right now. But you need to know, and the whole of the family needs to know that the Don of NXT is going to be taking NXT in a new future. So what is this? Is the Tony D'Angelo family going to be turning heel again? That'd be interesting to see, to be honest with you. I wouldn't mind seeing Tony D become a heel again. I mean, he is a mafia boss. Not really sure why he was a face in the first place. It doesn't really make sense that the mob who, unalive people are faces in NXT. Honestly, it doesn't make no sense whatsoever. Anyway, we go to the next segment here where Chase U and Axiom and Nathan Fraser are challenging for the NXT Tag Team Championships in a number one contenders match here. There's a beautiful Spanish fly that Axiom hits on Duke Hudson, which is absolutely amazing. However, the match comes to an end where Nathan Fraser goes for a jackknife pin onto Andre Chase, but Andre Chase is able to roll through and get the 1-2-3, wrapping him up for the win. It looks like we're getting Chase U versus Braun and Baron Corbin for the NXT Tag Team Champions. Really, really cool to see. Riley Osborne is out there looking disappointed, but he's about to look even more disappointed because out of nowhere, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, the OC, come out of nowhere and just beat down everybody. Like all four of these guys, like with the Magic Killer, with the I believe they hit a boot of doom. Is that what it's called? Yeah, they get hit with the boot of doom. Yeah, apparently they're here to take over. The OC are on NXT. Is this the end of the AJ Styles OC, and are they just by themselves now? Who knows? We'll have to find that out on SmackDown because I'm sure that'll get brought up. Speaking of something that doesn't really need to get brought up, Ridge Holland said he's gonna apologize to the NXT audience, whether anyone wants to hear him or not. Obviously, it's fine for Gallus to, put his ankle in a chair and try and destroy it. But when he picks up the chair, he's the bad guy. And when he beats down three men, he's the bad guy. So next week, he's going to apologize. I don't really know what this means, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. I don't know why. If he doesn't think he's in the wrong, then why is he feeling the need to apologize? I don't really get this, to be honest with you. I really don't. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Ridge Holland. Thea Hale and Fallon Henley now have a conversation. Fallon Henley is just like she's down in the dumps, like about what's going on with Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen. Like, they're supposed to be friends. Why are they fighting? Well, you know why? Because the trio broke up, Fallon. Like, you literally said it to Brooks Jensen a couple of weeks ago. Don't know why you're surprised. Apparently nothing is going on for her lately. Like, she's a bit down the dumps, essentially. Thea Hale comes and sits next to her and like basically talks about the bad advice that she got from JCJ and she doesn't know what to do now about Riley Osborne. Fallon Henley says you can basically throw February 14th in the bin for me for what it's worth. And then as they walk the way, they start talking about how Brooks Jensen and Kiana James had that situation about a year ago, I believe it was. Do you remember that? Do you remember when Brooks Jensen was obsessed with Kiana James and they were going out and Fallon and Kiana were tag team champions? What a weird time to be in NXT, am I right, guys? Next, guys, we get a match between Lash Legend and Kalani Jordan. Again, not really much to say about this match. It's quite a short match. Kalani Jordan kind of just gets beaten down by Lash Legend here for the 1-2-3. She just gets pretty much destroyed. Obviously, Jakara Jackson distracts Kalani Jordan when she gets a bit of momentum here, but she turns around and gets again destroyed by Lash Legend for the 1-2-3. After the match, Kiana James and Izzy Dame come out to beat down Kalani Jordan as they were saying they were going to for the past couple of weeks because apparently she's an obstacle in NXT, even though she's just got beaten by Lash Legend, which surely would make Lash Legend the obstacle that the Kiana and Izzy would want to go after. But Yeah, logic. You gotta love heel logic, right? Anyway, they try and beat Kalani Jordan down, but Kalani Jordan manages to get out of the situation and take out both of these people. Well, she doesn't take them out. She like holds the ground, and Izzy and Kiana retreat for an attack at some point in the future. I'm assuming they're going to be getting the upper hand. I'm assuming Kalani Jordan is probably going to be getting a tag team partner. Who that's going to be, I have literally no idea. The OC are backstage saying they're going to hear that they're here to separate the men from the boys. Obviously, they are the men, and the rest of the tag team division are boys. So, are these guys going to have a tag team championship run? Are these guys the ones who are going to beat Baron Corbin and Bron Breakker at Roadblock? Maybe, maybe. You've got Chase U there, who's going to be challenging the Wolf Dogs. Oh, by the way. Spear of Days got brought up. I've heard the rumors. I've heard the rumors online that they're going to be changing the name from the Wolf Dogs to the Spear of Days. Oh, that is such a terrible name. I really hope they don't do that. Please do not change your name to Spear of Days, guys. Jesus Christ, that sounds just awful. It sounds rubbish. Please don't do that. Anyway, yeah, the OC is separating the men from the boys. I'm assuming that means they're going to have a tag team championship run on NXT in the next couple of months. We now go to the main event, which is a bit of a strange main event because it starts off with Shotzi. Now, we've heard online, guys, that Shotzi is injured, so I was a bit surprised of how they were going to talk Shotzi out of the NXT Women's Championship match that she was going to have tonight. She actually does start off the match, but she ends up getting injured about 5 minutes the way through during the commercial break, as she injures a knee. So as we come back from the commercial, Ava Rain is out there saying, she's not able to compete, but we promised you an NXT Women's Championship match, and that's exactly what you're going to go get. So we've got an open challenge for you. Whoever is the first to come out gets the NXT Championship match against Lyra Valkyria. And guess who it is? Last Legend, the Persian. Wow, did I just say Persian? The person who just beat Kalani Jordan. I mean, it makes sense. It makes total sense, actually. She was there. She was right there. Probably at the curtain because she's just been in a match. So it makes sense that she was the closest to the ring. So Last Legend comes out as a short women's championship match. Obviously, Last Legend is a little bit green. She can't exactly carry in anyone in the ring. Her and Lyra put on a pretty decent match, but Lyra Valkyria ends up winning with that big splash that she hits for the 1-2-3. During this segment, Roxanne Perez looks absolutely infuriated. The camera cuts back to someone telling her that this is what happened, that there was an open challenge and Last Legend took it. She was absolutely furious, obviously because she is sick of not getting opportunities that she thinks she deserves. Who cares, Roxy? Who gives a crap? But yeah, Last Legend, fair play. So we're pulling double duty tonight, and Lyra Valkyria taking on two different opponents. NXT working on the fly. It's always nice to see when, they can handle a situation like this where, the show doesn't completely have to stop. Hopefully Shotzi isn't, completely out for a long, long time. My thoughts and prayers go out to Shotzi. Get well soon, girl. You're absolutely fantastic, and you were underutilized on the main roster. Can't wait to see you back. But guys, what did you think of NXT this week? Let me know in the comments. Did you enjoy it? Did you think it was a bit of a meh episode, or did you just hate it out and out? Like I say, let me know in the comments what you think of NXT this week, guys. Just sorting out my microphone there because I realized I just hit it with my keyboard. But yeah. If you haven't seen my Monday Night Raw review, go check it out. It was on yesterday. I covered that. Obviously, if you like this video, make sure you leave that thumbs up and you subscribe to the channel. We have got a podcast coming tomorrow, guys. Courtney, check out Courtney's channel. She is in Perth, Australia. She has got plenty of stuff to show you guys on her TikTok. Speaking of TikTok, Outcasted OC is also on that platform. We are also on X and Instagram. Go follow us there, along with the rest of the guys' individual channels. But for now, guys, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic Wednesday. Hope you enjoyed NXT. Hope you enjoyed me rambling for about 25 minutes. Peace out.